everyone. Promise I won't keep you too long, so you can all get home. But I'm Laura from Approved Mortgage Solutions, so I'm a mortgage advisor. There's actually some new news this week. So Birmingham Midshires, who are part of the Lloyds Group, have announced that they're going to start doing limited company buy-to-lets. Historically, they haven't done, they've just done personal names. But because they had such a big market share with the personal name mortgages, they didn't really need to branch out into the limited company space. Because they're sort of behind now in the market a little bit, they are coming in quite aggressively priced, and sort of rumour has it is that they're going to near enough match TMW rates. So that's good news. Generally, BM have a better process. Their valuations are more generous. You can have up to 4 applicants. On a limited company application, you get an immediate decision in principle, which a lot of lenders you don't with a limited company. You can have 15 properties maximum, 10 with Birmingham Midshires, and they have no minimum income. Another thing that they'll do is they'll do 80% loan to value if you've got a property with an EPC of an A, B or a C. So following from what Bruce said about EPCs, that's a really good point. Coventry, so Godiva's the buy-to-let sort of side of Coventry. They've recently announced that they're also launching into limited company lending. By sort of more high street lenders moving into limited company space, it should start and sort of bring rates down a little bit, because the other lenders will have to price, more aggressively as well. NatWest have also announced that they have plans to come to the limited company market. I thought as well I would just mention that there are some lenders that have absolutely no minimum income at all on buy-to-let. So some of them don't even ask. Some of them just make sure that you can cover, like your household bills. And there are also some lenders who will do first-time buyer, first-time landlord. So again, obviously we're seeing younger people moving into property investment. It might be that their first property is a buy-to-let. That has been something that has, held some people back before. So that's positive as well. I thought I'd do a little bit on tenancy types, following on from Andrew's presentation. So generally speaking, you've got standard AST tenancy, and then you've got a holiday Airbnb, whatever it's called, tenancy agreement. Now, standard mortgage products generally don't allow you to let the property as service accommodation. So it's important that if your plan is to let it as that, make sure that the mortgage product that you recommended in the first place allows for it. Affordability for service accommodation is worked out differently across different lenders. Some will use high, medium and low season rates and average them. And some will work it out based on what it would achieve as a standard tenancy agreement. So sometimes one can work out more beneficial than the other, depending on where the property is. With service accommodation mortgages, there are more lenders coming to the market who are now allowing it. The rates are slightly higher, as it is classed slightly more as commercial. Sorry, I'm just trying to read my own writing. We are seeing more lenders come into the market for things like letting to local authorities, housing groups and charities. Again, the rates are quite a bit higher, but in terms of planning, if that is your plan, then make sure that your mortgage suits that, because not all of them do. I know Paul's previously spoken about this, so I promise I haven't just stolen his slides and passed them off on my own. But I thought I would just mention it because we are seeing a lot of these cases coming through whereby landlords are selling to tenants. Now, it can either be done by the landlord gifting the tenant some equity to use as the deposit, because quite a lot of the time the main stumbling block that tenants face is that they don't have the deposit to be able to buy. So 5% is the minimum deposit needed, but I'm going to caveat that because there is another option. generally, and as a landlord you can gift the tenant that in equity to use towards a deposit. However, a Dutch bank, April Mortgages, have, I think it was either this week or last week, come out with a true 100% loan to value mortgage. So there is absolutely no deposit needed. The criteria is that the value has to be over £100,000. They only do 10-year or 15-year fixes, so they are much longer term fixes. You have to have a clean credit history and you have to have a household income of 25,000. That's household though, not each applicant. So again, if you want to sell and the tenant wants to buy, you can gift them equity, or they could potentially do it with absolutely no deposit at all. And so far this year, we've done about 30 of these. So the demand is definitely there. What we always say is it's worth a chat. So, if you are looking to sell and your tenant is possibly interested, you can always pass them over to your mortgage advisor, see what their maximum borrowing is. It might be that they're just way off and it's not ever going to be achievable, but it's worth asking.